Feliz Navidad.
Oh, you didn't tell me we were going to do season's greetings in different languages.
Do you know any others?
All I've got in my head is Père Noël, but I know that's Father Christmas in French, so that's not really a greeting. Father Christmas to you.
What do they say in Australia, do you think?
I don't, I'm not going to do a racial, what could be considered, a racist accent for an Australian. I
We're not
don't.
going to hear Stroof, mate. It's a bit.
All right,
No, we're
you
not
do
going to
it.
do that. No, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm going to. Yeah, I was just trying to think of people who speak in English language at Christmas. Um, okay, well there we go. That's our fantastic festive themed intro. Um, so yeah, we just thought we'd have a little chat about Christmas. We were going to do this on Advent Sunday, but we didn't. It just sums up life around Christmas time, really. I was looking on the chat and the Facebook group, and some people would ask questions about like, what's Christmas like? How do you do Christmas when you're home ed? How do you kind of get the things done that you would normally do in school? And what if you've always wanted your child to be in a school nativity? And and your child isn't in school, so how do you kind of have that thing when you're seeing all these photos coming up on Facebook? So I thought we'd talk a little bit about that, but also the horror that is the Christmas holidays for home editors compared to every other type of holiday. um, yeah, little bits and bobs really. So I'm going to start with a little a choice game for you, Craig. All right,
Oh,
okay.
my favourite.
It's your favourite. All right, we'll start off gently. All right, so Santa or Father Claus? No, Santa or Father Christmas?
Yeah, definitely not Father Claus.
I'm going to call him Father Claus now.
Santa Claus or Father Christmas? Is that the question?
Maybe that's the name of Santa's cat.
Yes,
All
yes.
right, sorry. Yeah,
So,
Father Christmas or Santa Claus
so
again.
I think I interchange them like in discussions in our house, but I prefer Father Christmas.
So do I.
I
So do
think it
I.
sounds more like uh more wholesome, doesn't it?
Oh well, yes, exactly. I
Which is
thought you
well,
like that.
I would have guessed that you'd like Father
Yeah,
Christmas,
because
but yeah.
actually, if you dig too much, this is a nice homemade project for you. Find out all about St. Nicholas, and he's the patron saint of quite a few things. There's some horror stories in his history. Enjoy, children. Where the stockings come from, the gold coins, all that kind of stuff. It's a bit grim. Anyway, so that one, yeah, I'll be with you on Father Christmas. All right, how about Muppets Christmas Carol or Home Alone?
I've I've probably got to go for Muppets Christmas Carol myself
Like that would
because
have been a very short episode otherwise, because I just would have had to just stop recording.
yeah.
It's
Don't
Muppets
you?
A Muppet Christmas Carol all the way.
I'm a musicals fan. Me and my wife have seen like
Mm.
64 musicals together now. So yeah, it's a brilliant musical. So
And it's a classic. I mean,
yeah.
they don't
So's
mess.
Home
I mean,
Alone, to be fair.
yeah, it is. Yeah, there is, but
I
it
get the
doesn't.
feeling you're not into Home Alone. I think you've alienated like 50% of the.
I'll do my Home Alone right now. No, I do. I do like Home Alone, but I could put that in the bin before I put Muppet Christmas Carol. Oh my goodness, yes. Okay, all right. There's
Hey,
another one.
oh, go on then,
Tom.
because I've got one for you. Unless
All right,
unless it's one of yours that you're giving to me.
all
Go on.
right. Eggnog or sloe gin?
Never had eggnog, so I'd have to go gin. I like
Okay.
damson gin.
Oh, very nice. The Grinch or Scrooge?
I don't understand the choice.
All right. Okay.
What?
Who would
What?
who would you rather spend Christmas with? The Grinch or Scrooge?
I think Scrooge, because Scrooge, well, I know they're both redemptive, aren't they? But I think I'd
Mm,
have more in common to try and talk to Scrooge about than
yeah.
someone that's green.
Okay. What else have
Very
I got?
autistic answer for you. Yeah,
Christmas crackers or Jacob's crackers?
Jacobs. I hate Christmas crackers. I unroll them. I don't like them banging.
we have the same issue with the bang with the snap. We used to make our own and not put that in.
Yeah.
We just have to go we pull
That's
them.
much better. I just I'm not it's not terrible anymore. When I was younger, I
Yeah.
used to absolutely hate them, but I don't see the point in making that noise for no reason. So yeah, definitely Jacob's crackers.
Okay. Christmas pudding or chocolate Yule log?
Oh, do you know what? A Christmas, chocolate. I think like what are we talking about on the day after
Yeah.
lots of other food than Christmas pudding
Oh,
because it's
really?
not as like rich. It's rich in
You'd
a different
rather eat
way.
Christmas pudding after eating a whole roast
I
dinner?
don't eat roasting.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Right,
like
fair
it.
enough.
But I mean, if I've had other stuff, I
Yes.
think the chocolate would be too sweet.
Okay.
And I don't think the point is like I could get a Yule log pretty much any day. It's just a Swiss roll, isn't it? Dressed up. But it is, come on. It's sponge and nice stuff inside and chocolate on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
outside.
yeah,
That's a
yeah,
Swiss roll with chocolate on
yeah,
the outside.
yeah. That's true.
So you don't really
Okay.
get Christmas pudding the other times of the year.
Okay. And last one for you: Christmas Eve or Boxing Day?
Boxing Day, it's all over then.
There we go. Now I don't need to ask about how you feel about Christmas. Go on, you got one for me.
Yeah, well, this is more of a yes. Is Die Hard a Christmas film or not?
Yes, of course.
Come on, yes, of course it is.
Why? This is why we can do this because we are on that level.
Absolutely. How's it not a
Excellent. No.
Christmas film?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
baubles and everything.
Are full of
Yeah.
finish? Okay, cool. Okay, well, there we go. We've dealt with how we feel about most of Christmas, but let's talk about it from a homemade perspective because we always forget that we're supposed to be talking about the children instead
Oh,
of
the children. Oh,
ourselves.
yeah.
Yeah, I know the children. God. Okay,
Come
so
on.
think of
Come
the
on, someone
children,
think of the
Craig.
children.
All right. Okay. So let's kick off with missing out on school stuff. So, you people might know I work in a school. I work at a primary school, and my son went to primary school. So I have had quite a few years from both sides of what goes on in a primary school in the run up to Christmas. Um, yes, some children love it. Some children hate it. Some parents love it and some parents hate it. But if you're someone who does love it, I think that's one of those things of, seeing your child dressed up as an angel or a star or a little shepherd with a lamb in a nativity. If that was on your kind of tick list of like traditions and memories you were going to make as a parent, and your child ends up not going to school, um, you know, that can be sad. It can be sad. It feels a little bit of like, oh, everyone else is posting their kind of things up there. I can tell you some horror stories about nativities that will make you be glad that your kid wasn't in one of them. But yeah, I loved my son's nativities actually. I made the costumes myself, of course. All that kind of stuff. I know. But I loved it. I'm not sure it was his favourite time of year,
Well,
but as
this
a
is what I
parent,
was going
I
to
enjoyed
say
it.
is that, when you're saying about missing out
Yeah,
like on it, who is having this issue? Because it sounds a lot like the parents might be having this issue and the kids don't really care on the
mm,
whole. I'm sure some
no,
do, but I think it's more the parents. It's a
yeah,
bit like I think we've seen people and definitely seen local people saying about, oh, I'm missing out on that kind of that strange thing that's around now. Strange. So I've insulted everyone. But where they take a picture on the first day of school against their front
oh
door,
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah,
and that was
yeah,
never a thing a few years ago, but it is
yeah.
now. And people saying they miss out on that. The kid doesn't care.
No.
The kid doesn't care about that at all. I mean, I would say to
Mm,
parents, look, you've got lovely memories with your kids doing loads of other
mm,
stuff that you wouldn't have been able to do if they were in school.
yes,
So, like, cling on to that.
yeah,
If they're
yeah,
really, theatrical or wanting to do something, there's bound to be something you
yeah.
could push them in terms of wrong language, but you could direct
Open the
them
door
into
to you
open
can
the door.
open the
There you
door.
go.
Yeah,
Don't shove them through it. But
yeah,
uh, I'd say that, or, get together with a group of friends and put on something,
Yeah.
for a laugh,
Yeah,
hire
that
a
would be. Do you
community
know, that would
hall or
actually
do
be
it.
quite sweet. That would actually be quite sweet
Yeah.
to just put on a scratch the nativity.
Yeah.
Some of the parents have got dressed up as
You can
well.
get a script online or they can make
Yeah.
it up themselves.
It's called the Bible. There's
Yeah, you could do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, it's got it in that book. That book.
It
So
is. It
you can
is.
read it
It
there.
is. Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean. You could. We had what did we
Not
have?
really scripted for like stage, is it? The
No,
Bible.
no. We had Whoops a Daisy Angel. That was the one. Whoops a Daisy Angel. There's all kinds of ones. Usually, what you find is the ones for school have got about 50 parts in it, like
Yes.
third carrot from the left or something,
I was
and
advisor to the king when I did it in my infant school.
yeah. I was a
Yeah, yeah.
soldier. I was one of Herod's soldiers.
Do you know what? So the king ruined it for me.
Oh, really?
Shall I tell you why? This is a little
Go on.
Christmas anecdote for people.
Go on then.
I was delivering my lines perfectly. I was like 6, but I was brilliant. I was destined for the West End. I
Yeah.
thought this is going brilliantly.
Yeah.
I've remembered everything. I've got gusto. I've got everything.
Yeah.
And then the king forgot their lines. And then because I knew the king's lines as well, or I knew the king had lines, I was just waiting for the king. And then the teachers started whispering to me on the stage, my next line. And I said to them, I know, he hasn't said his, but they couldn't get him to speak. So, yeah, in the end,
Oh.
I cottoned on that they just wanted me to carry on and pretended said it, which I found weird because,
Did you
autistic.
just say, "Hark, what is that I see"?
Well, I
Oh
think,
yes, no, I
yeah,
did.
yeah, exactly. I was 6. I didn't really
Yeah.
understand that,
Oh.
carry on at all costs kind of thing. I was like, no, he hasn't done his line. Um, so yeah, yeah, you could be missing out on that. I still
Yeah,
remember that. I
I
still remember that. I'm
know.
40 now, and that stayed with me for 4 years. So don't traumatize your children and make them do that.
No,
There you
not
go.
well. Speaking of trauma, yeah, like you said, it's not always the children don't always particularly enjoy it. I mean, the other thing is like if your kid might be a kid that really likes dressing up. That's lovely. So I've got some ideas for other things you can do to get that Christmas kind of thing going. If you're not at school, you could do carol singing to your neighbours.
They love
Especially if
it.
they love it. Get your little kids together, dress them up, take them around, get them to sing away in a manger. Lovely. Don't do what we did. Well, we did it twice. We did once. We went to a lady who was deaf, so she didn't answer the door. We were sat out there singing for ages. And then another one. Um, she didn't know she was coming, so we were singing outside, and we could see them all eating dinner. We were sitting outside the window singing, and we knew her, and she didn't recognise us, and so we came near her and started tapping on the window, and she came up and pulled the blinds. She's just like gone. I think she might have thought we were some like awful people stalking her or something.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of an awkward one, but yes, plan ahead. Have some people that you are expecting you. That's quite nice.
I like the fact that you filed that in she mustn't have recognised us and she must have thought we were nefarious rather than she knew who we were and she just wanted us to shut up and let her eat.
I don't know how you could see it any other way. Anyway, so we did that. But that's quite nice. And the other thing is, a lot of the churches, they often have a Christingle where, they'll get kids to come up and they'll do a nativity on the fly. Quick, here we go. We need 3 kings. Up we go. That kind of stuff. And you'll be like, oh no, all the lines, so I can do all of that. So yeah, you can do. There are other ways to go to do that, but I like your idea. I like the idea of getting 2 or 3 families around, put on your own little at-home
Yeah.
nativity. That sounds really cute. Okay,
Do
so
that.
that's that.
Yeah.
You won't get handmade cards that you have not been part of. Okay, so if your kid is at school, they will make a calendar with one of those little tiny calendar things that just tell you what the date is. They just have the
I
numbers.
remember those.
Oh, yeah, you rip
They
it
still
off.
do those.
Oh, they still do
No
that.
one
They
wants
still...
them. They're pointless. No one can see them. They're so small.
You get that. You won't get your handmade Christmas card. You'll have to, get that one to
Well,
make it
look,
for you.
come on, let's innovate, people. Get a little co-op together. Get two or three families, swap kids, and each,
Yes,
or, you
what
know, the
kids?
other adults can.
Don't give them back.
Well,
Just
you know, maybe set a time limit on the swapping, but you know, all in the same
yeah,
space. The parents can,
yeah,
you know, if the kids are happy,
that's nice.
shuffle around, and the parents can help
Mm,
the other kids with. You know,
yeah.
it's not going to work for everyone, but there you go. It's a solution for some people.
There we
Next,
go, lovely. I think that's what, no, to be honest, that's pretty much all of it. So let's talk about what you don't have to be part of. Christmas fair, making stuff for the Christmas fair, bringing in bits of costume, your children having Christmas smacked at them every single day. And let's be honest, there is a bit of crossover, isn't there, between children who get overwhelmed by stuff and home
yes,
educated children. So, if you're home educating because your child is like, is more comfortable in smaller environments, that kind of stuff, just thank whichever deity you pray to that you are not, your kid is not at school during Christmas because it is so overwhelming. Um, so yeah, if you are a family that likes all that hype, you can go nuts, can't you? So actually, you've got all the days of December to go mad over Christmas. But if you're like us, I'm imagining it's the same with you.
mm.
Kind of take it steady. There's no one forcing it on you, which is really lovely. So that's nice. Let's talk about Christmas holidays. Do you know when the Christmas holidays start round your way?
20th, I think.
Yeah, our
Well,
birthday's
what's
the
that? Is that
19th.
Friday?
Yeah,
Friday.
Friday the 19th.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah,
then
yeah. So yeah,
for about
19th.
2.5 weeks, every indoor venue that you've been enjoying going to will be rammed because the weather will be rubbish, almost guaranteed. So you won't be going to the park, all that kind of stuff. So be a bit prepared for that, I would say, if this is your first Christmas holidays.
Libraries
Like,
never get that busy.
oh, that's true. That's
Libraries
true.
are generally pretty
Hmm.
good. They get
Hmm.
busier, but I've never seen a library
Yeah.
rammed. I bet you have. I bet in your little village, everyone's in the library now. You're
They
carol
do.
singing
They
outside.
flipping love the library. They
Yeah,
really do.
called that one right.
Yeah. But what you can do also is you can just go a bit like in the summer. We tend to do the evening and the early morning to get away from, that's when we go to the beaches. You can also just dress up for the weather, and then give the indoor stuff a miss if
Yeah, one of my friends says there's no such thing as the bad weather. It's just the wrong clothing.
Well, I know,
But
but
that's
there's
not true. I mean,
glasses.
they're wrong, but
People
you know.
people who wear glasses don't say that. They're like,
No, or have major sensory issues, but still,
yeah.
you know. I thought I'd
Because
put
you've
it
got
out there for those people that do
Yeah, I
want to
know.
go out in the
You got to
pit,
put on those flipping
visiting rain.
clothes on as well. They're just yeah. Anyway, but yeah, no, find other ways. Go first thing, last thing in the day, all that kind of stuff. What else? What else? Okay. Family and home ed. I think another thing is worth bearing in mind if you are new to home ed is this is the season when you like to get together with family.
Well, where you are forced to get together with family,
Yes.
some of you may not like it.
No, I suppose you might love it, but you're likely to find yourself in close proximity with alcohol and family members who choose this time to talk to you about their views on home education or quiz your child on maths or whatever. Um, there are many posts on how to deal with family members in those sort of situations. Yeah, I would just do my
Refuse to
usual
feed them.
advice, really. Sorry?
Refuse to feed them.
Yeah, refuse to feed them. That's it.
Just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
withhold nourishment until they shut up,
Well, no, just stick a Brixton blanket in their mouth.
or fill them so full of nourishment
Fill
they
'em,
can't
yeah.
talk. You know,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
one or the
yeah.
other.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Oh, sorry, I've got to just go and check on the turkey. Bye.
Yeah, and then quietly
Um,
move house.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's that one then. What else? Let me see. Gifts. Let's talk about Christmas list. If you were to put things on your Christmas list to help with home ed, do you do this? Because we do. We'd be like, Christmas, when you're a home edder, is just kind of, you can think of 1,000 things. It's
Do you
like
know what? We're
craft
not.
kits, science
We,
kits.
I went a bit mad the other day and bought quite a few new games, harking back to our board game
Oh yeah,
chat
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
yeah, so that was kind of part of my Christmas spending was on games because we love a game, and getting into a good game I think can really set you up for, it can set us up for a good few months
yeah, yeah.
of doing that game until I'm really sick of it and never want to see it again. So yeah, and then my daughter was like, "No, I don't want to play that ever again," and then we'll come back to it next year. But yeah, I would say look at, if you can
Mm.
look at a new board game, new card
Yeah.
game or something, and yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's a fabulous way of stocking up on your homemade gear.
yeah,
I mean, you're obviously not going to ask for workbooks, but when I think about some of the stuff we asked for, the first year when my son was homemade, it was like, oh my God, right, there's this thing where you build your own little mini computer. There's this thing, there's a slime making thing, there's this science kit, there's this thing, baking, gardening. It was brilliant. I mean, we just didn't run out of things at all. It was fantastic. And as he's got older, it's like things that are to do with, I don't know, equipment like to do with photography or digital music, but because those are things he does with his home ed, it just opens up this whole list, which is brilliant. So I like that. That makes it very easy for Christmas lists. Um, what else? What else? Christmas themed home ed. Does that change at all for you? Do you do any kind of like, let's throw a bit of the old Christmas around the world and the
we roll with the
origins of,
punches here. Really, we're very
yeah.
child led, so and unstructured on the
Mm.
whole. So my wife's put a lot of effort into doing we've got a reusable advent calendar that we use with her, and but she's gone to a lot of effort this year to do, not that we don't each year, but this year she's gone the extra mile and done like clues, in each one, so that she's got to work stuff out.
We do that too. We
Yeah,
do
she
that
loves
too.
it, and then
Yeah,
leads her around the house and stuff like that. She loves a quiz,
yeah,
she loves a puzzle. So yeah, we try and just, we do
yeah,
that kind of everyday
mm,
learning really, rather than it being a structured
yeah,
activity. So it kind of carries on, but is maybe just themed around our lives really.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, sometimes there's some Christmas stuff in there, for sure. But sometimes I think it's just as valid to kind of almost ignore Christmas, if especially like if your child, like mine's very very excited at this time of year, and
mm,
I think the anticipation is so
mm.
much that I think it is very valid not to lean heavily into it if you don't want to, and just carry on as normal as you can.
Yeah, I
Um,
think that's a really good point because actually, you could actually, I was just saying about how at Christmas everything ramps up at school. Um, you could end up easily replicating that at home, and you have 24 days of like Christmas, 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 with all these different activities. And actually, by the time you get to Christmas Day itself, your kid is in a mess. And also you've created a load of work for yourself. Again, this is all like, if this is your kind of thing, if your kid
yeah,
is
if you're
lovely and
enjoying it,
likes that,
go for
not
it.
if your kid is lovely, if your kid loves this kind of thing and they're not going to go pop, then go for it. But don't feel that you have to either. You absolutely don't have to do anything Christmassy. I mean, we've got the little reusable advent thing, and we've done all kinds of nerdiness. So one we used to do was when he was a lot younger. Um, they'd say it was the 3rd of December, pull out a maths question, and the answer to the maths question was the stocking that had the chocolate in. So if
Yeah,
the answer was 21, then you go to 21 and then you find the thing. But yeah, it'd also be like, you know, take how many white keys on the piano minus the black keys. You have to go and count the keys and do that, that kind of stuff. It's quite sweet. This year, he wanted challenges. So he wanted something that would take him about an hour to do. But he doesn't necessarily have to do it that day. But he will, saves them up and then he puts them in a jar and pulls them out later and stuff. So I've done one on one side is 5 minutes, it's like a quick thing, and on the other side will be something that takes a bit longer. So it could be, I don't know, send a message to someone you haven't spoken to for a while, or make a video on your phone for your cousins, that kind of thing. And he
Oh,
loves
that's
all that
nice.
kind of thing. So that's quite nice. That's quite nice. Except now I've just remembered today it's been a week. So I've got this evening, I've got to write 7 more, get them all ready for the week ahead. Otherwise, last thing I do before I go to
Mm.
bed, I go, oh God, I've done the flipping stocking. Right, what am I going to do that we haven't done before? So
Oh, crikey.
yeah, I
The
know. Create a
pressure.
bit of work for myself. I know, I know. So anyway, but that's quite nice. So that we do it a little tiny bit, but in fact, I think we've gone too far the other way because today you were saying, I don't feel very Christmassy. Everyone else has got their Christmas trees up and everyone's like doing this. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that perhaps we ought to do a little bit of something. So we got the paper chains out, started making paper chains. All right, that'll do now. We're done. Thank you. Moving on. Um,
Oh, yeah, no,
yeah,
we lean into it as soon as
yeah,
we can stand it. Um, yeah, just it helps my daughter regulate, I think, having the
yeah.
tree up and stuff like, because she's not then anticipating that still.
Oh, I know what you
And,
mean. Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh, as soon as Halloween's over, really, she's
yeah.
like rocking, going, like, it's gonna be
Get it all
Christmas
done.
soon. When can we do it? When can we do it?
Oh,
So
bless
we've did it
her.
the middle of November, which was really early. It does my head in because I like it. Just to be honest, actually, this year it's not as bad for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't like all the change and all the busyness of the
No.
decorations personally.
Yeah.
But
Oh
you
well.
know,
Yeah. And then generally, I think the same as you, really. I mean, your home ed doesn't have to stop at all. I mean, if you're a family like my family or Craig's family, it's a bit we kind of just go with whatever's going on, don't we?
mm,
So you know, I expect my son's got in quite he's set himself up his own routine. I wouldn't be surprised if he still does his Duolingo on Christmas morning
mm,
because it's part of his rhythm for the day and he likes that rhythm. So he'll probably do his yoga and he'll probably do his Duolingo and he'll do this and that. He might not do some of the. No, he probably will. Probably do his maths. He'll probably do. Right. We'll go for a walk and all that kind of stuff, and that will probably help him cope with all the crazy change and travel
yeah.
and loads of people and stuff. Um, but equally, especially if you've got other children in your family who are at school, you don't have to home ed either. You can stop when they stop and then just forget all about it for 2.5 weeks and then crack on again on the 5th of January. Not that I know exactly when the school holidays end.
Counting
um,
down an advent to that. Yes.
yeah. Well, no, not me, because that's me back to work, isn't it?
Oh, I
So,
see.
yeah.
Yes, yes. Oh,
Um,
blimey.
yeah, no. But yeah, anyway. So that thing just kind of go with the flow for Christmas Eve and kind of look after yourself a little bit. I think. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
I think the thing is, don't try and do everything just because you think it
Mm,
should be done. I think this is in general advice, isn't it, rather than
mm,
just for home ed. But home ed, as you said, has a not a disproportionate amount, but a lot of people that do struggle with change or struggle with
mm,
overwhelm
yeah.
or might just not be able to cope with Christmas for one reason
Mm,
or the other. And I just think don't put any pressure on yourself to do stuff just because.
yeah.
That's, to me, I'd never see the point in doing it. Do it because it works for you and your family, and that's really how we do home ed. Throughout the year, it's just we never really feel the need to conform to what other people are doing, which I know is a luxury other people don't have. Other people do
Mm,
worry about it, and
yeah.
I think it's my mission to try and get them not to.
And also, I think for those of you that meet up with home ed families, so you have those groups that you meet, those will probably stop, over Christmas. So it's really important to keep in touch with your home ed tribe. Keep, post on the groups, chat to the people that message each other if things are a bit like, oh my God, just keep in touch and you'll be back into the swing with the homemade New Year's resolutions in January, and then off we go again.
And you can, if you're that sort of person. After saying all this, we have actually arranged a homemade winter celebration, we're calling it, because
That's
we
nice.
refused to call it a party because we didn't want a party atmosphere. But
And you refuse to call it Christmas because,
Well, I just think we didn't want to, because it's not heavily leaning into Christmas.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
just a celebration at this time of year.
And also, it respects people who celebrate other things or
That's
don't
true,
celebrate
that's
anything
true.
at
But
all.
it was more of a, there's not going to be a Father Christmas in
Mm,
attendance. There's not going to be an elf and stuff. So it is going to be. We've got a, but yeah, that we're having about 60 people come to that in a local,
yeah.
community centre. And so if you're that type of person, go
Mm,
ahead and it might be a bit late now, but you can start planning for next year.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Or
you
just
know,
say you're going for a Christmas walk,
yeah,
on such and such a day. We're
that's
going
it.
over the woods, meet here at such and such time. Let's just go for a walk together or something.
And what I'd say as well is, it can be difficult for some kids, especially if they're in a routine and their classes stop or their groups stop and regular meetups stop, is to have something booked in and arranged for very early on in the new year,
Mm.
because then if anything like my child's up, when can I see them? When is it? But when can I? No, I don't know. Soon. When? It's not good enough saying soon, and it wouldn't be good enough for me. But I do try and
No,
get away with it. But
yeah,
quite rightly, she doesn't let me. But so I would say arrange something, so that you've got a date, that you're all aiming for, and say, yeah, we're all going to meet up on this date, and then
yeah.
that can sometimes, I think, help with the regulation if they've got
Mm.
something to aim for and they know when things are going to happen
Yeah, and
again.
actually, if you normally have or we normally have a music group on such and such a day, well, book something in and like just that. Oh, we'll do some music thing
Yeah,
that day, so you've still got that rhythm. I think it can get really, yeah, it can all unravel a little bit otherwise. So,
yeah.
yeah, cool. Wow. I think we've done Christmas.
Well, what's next? Easter. And we're not just doing all
No,
the Christian ones, are we? What's next?
no. We'll do all sorts. Actually, you've got Eid before Easter, so
Is that
we can
that,
do.
that side of the year? I always get confused of when Eid is.
It's
I,
because it's not always the same time.
that's
Well,
why.
because Easter moves as
Bloody
well.
moon.
Well, we've got the lovely winter solstice coming up as well,
Oh
21st of
yes, I know.
December, my
Yes, yes.
favourite day of the year, because everything shifts, and then you're like, oh, aren't the days getting longer by 2 minutes a
Then that
day?
mean that your favourite day of the year is the day after?
Well, no, because I'm celebrating. It's
You're
like
celebrating
you
it's
didn't
going to
you
happen.
didn't ask me whether it was Christmas Eve or Boxing Day for me. It's always Christmas Eve. I'm an anticipator. I
Ah,
like the anticipation. So for me, 21st December, I used to live in Brighton. They had the burning of the clock ceremony. It was like, yay, we made it through the longest, darkest
so
bit, and
does
now
that
we're.
mean that you don't like the summer one because it's the start of the decline?
Oh yeah, no, I don't like that one.
You
That
don't?
one,
No. Oh,
no,
cool. Oh,
no,
that's
that's really
interesting. Yeah.
funny, isn't it? Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
no,
So
it tracks with what you've just said, though, doesn't it?
yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, we're going to have a little chat offline about what we're going to do next, but we shall wish you all Merry Christmas. I hope that Father Claus is kind to
Ugh.
you. Yeah, and catch up with you in the new year.
See you later,
Bye.
everyone.